January 21st, 2026. The first light of dawn breaks over the Philippine archipelago, casting a golden hue across the naval harbors. But beneath the calm surface, tension simmers, a tension that has gripped the nation for weeks. The West Philippine Sea is tense. Warships from rival nations maneuver in contested waters, their presence a constant reminder of unresolved disputes and fragile peace. A Philippine Coast Guard vessel, on what should have been a routine patrol, finds itself shadowed by foreign ships. Every move is watched, every signal analyzed as the crew feels the weight of the world on their shoulders. On the bridge of the BRP Jose Rizal, the captain stands vigilant, eyes fixed on the radar screens. His ship is more than just steel and electronics. It's a symbol of a new era for the Philippine Navy, a beacon of hope in uncertain times. Not long ago, the Philippine Navy was defined by vulnerability. Old ships, battered by time, and the elements struggled to keep up with modern threats. The men and women aboard them did their best, but the odds were never in their favor. Even with the arrival of advanced radar and a powerful main gun, the new ships had critical blind spots. Technology had improved, but gaps remained. Gaps that could prove fatal in a real conflict. As the crew sailed through contested waters, every lookout knew that danger could come at any moment. A surprise missile, a lurking submarine. Any of these could turn a tense standoff into a tragedy in seconds. Across the country, millions of Filipinos watched the news with bated breath. Each maritime standoff was more than a headline. It was a test of national resolve, a reminder that their defenders were often outmatched and under-equipped. The arrival of the BRP Jose Rizal brought hope, but those who knew the ship's secrets understood the truth. The frigate was missing crucial tools, its missile launchers empty, its defenses incomplete. It was like sending a fighter jet into battle without its best missiles, impressive on the outside, but lacking the punch needed to truly defend the nation. The courage of the crew was never in doubt. They trained, they prepared, and they stood their ground. But courage alone can't stop a missile. In the face of modern threats, bravery must be matched by capability. The commissioning of the Jose Rizal-class frigates was a leap forward, a proud moment for the Navy and the nation. Yet, as the ships entered service, their initial configuration was a stark reminder of how far there was still to go. These ships stood as a promise of future strength, their silhouettes against the sunset a symbol of hope. But hope alone was not enough. The future needed to arrive quickly, before the next crisis erupted. Through the long nights and uncertain days, Filipino sailors stood watch. They knew the risks, understood the stakes, and sailed on, guarding their homeland in warships not yet fully ready for war, but determined to hold the line until the nation's promise of strength could finally be fulfilled. When the BRP Jose Rizal and BRP Antonio Luna were commissioned, they became symbols of hope and inspired a surge of national pride. The sight of these new warships gleaming under the sun filled many Filipinos with a sense of renewed confidence in the country's maritime defense. Sleek, modern, and equipped with the latest technology, these frigates looked formidable, a dramatic leap forward from the aging, outdated ships that had long served the Philippine Navy. Their advanced radar, stealthy design, and powerful engines promised a new era of naval capability. These ships were meant to project strength, deter threats, and protect Philippine waters from intruders. They were envisioned as guardians of the nation's sovereignty, patrolling the vast and contested seas. But beneath the impressive exterior, a critical deficiency lurked, one that was not immediately obvious to the public eye. The ships were fitted for but not with key systems. This meant that while the spaces and wiring for advanced weapons and sensors were in place, the actual hardware was missing, leaving crucial gaps in their defenses. They sailed with empty missile launch cells and vacant stations where essential weapons and sensors should have been installed, making them look complete but functionally lacking. The most glaring omissions were the close-in weapon system, or CIWS, and the towed array sonar system, or TASS, both of which are vital for modern naval warfare. Without CIWS, the ships were dangerously exposed to incoming missile threats, unable to defend themselves in the final moments of an attack. And without TASS, they were nearly deaf to lurking submarines, unable to detect underwater threats that could strike without warning. This approach, while budget-friendly and politically expedient, left the ships incomplete and vulnerable, undermining the very strength they were meant to project. The pride of the fleet sailed with a hidden weakness, a sobering reminder that true strength is more than just appearances. Picture the BRP Antonio Luna, one of the Philippine Navy's most advanced frigates, slicing through the waves on patrol. Its radar sweeps the horizon, searching for threats in the vast, unpredictable ocean. Suddenly, the ship detects a barrage of incoming supersonic missiles. Each one, a deadly challenge to the crew's training and the ship's technology. The ship's missile defense systems spring into action, launching countermeasures and firing interceptors. Alarms blare as sailors rush to their stations, but despite their efforts, one missile manages to break through the outer layers of defense, streaking toward the ship at terrifying speed. In this critical moment, a close-in weapon system, or CIWS, becomes the ship's last hope. This rapid-firing gun is designed to shoot down threats at close range, buying precious seconds for survival. But if the ship lacks a CIWS, the crew can do little more than brace for impact and hope for the best. The absence of a CIWS isn't just a minor oversight, it's a glaring vulnerability in the ship's layered defense. Without this final shield, even the most advanced warship is exposed to catastrophic damage from missiles that slip past other defenses. Modern naval combat is built on the concept of multiple defensive rings, each designed to intercept threats at different ranges. The CIWS forms the last, most essential layer, often the difference between survival and disaster in a missile attack. Without this crucial system, a single advanced missile could slip through and cripple the Navy's most valuable asset, leaving the ship dead in the water and its crew in grave danger. But the gaps don't end there. The lack of a towed array sonar system, or TASS, poses another grave threat, one that's less visible but just as deadly. Southeast Asian waters are among the busiest and most challenging in the world. The ocean here is noisy, filled with commercial ships, fishing boats, and unpredictable currents. Detecting submarines in this environment is a daunting task, even for the most experienced navies. Hull-mounted sonar, while useful, is limited by the ship's own noise and the cluttered underwater environment. TASS, with its long cable of sensitive hydrophones, can listen far from the ship, picking up the faint sounds of enemy submarines long before they get close. With TASS, a warship can detect even the quietest submarines at a distance, giving the crew time to react and defend themselves before a torpedo is ever launched. Without this advanced sonar system, the frigates are left half-blind to underwater threats. Their ability to protect themselves and their fleet is severely compromised. Enemy submarines could silently stalk the ship, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, undetected and unchallenged. By the time a torpedo is finally detected, it's often too late to evade or counterattack. The ship and its crew are left with precious few seconds to respond. These critical gaps in defense undermine the frigate's role as a true multi-mission warship, capable of facing threats above and below the waves. Instead of being the hunter, these ships risk becoming the hunted, vulnerable targets in a dangerous and unpredictable sea. The government knew these deficiencies couldn't last. The fitted for but not with approach was a stopgap, not a solution. The plan, a second phase of acquisitions to fully arm the new frigates. In 2022, the frigate acquisition project Lot 2 was launched to fill these gaps. The contract included CIWS and TASS, integrated into the ship's combat systems. This was a strategic imperative, not just a routine upgrade. The focus shifted from buying more ships to making existing assets fully combat capable. The government was investing in real strength, not just symbols. The chosen CIWS is a marvel, an automated radar-guided rotary cannon firing thousands of rounds per minute. When a missile breaches outer defenses, the CIWS locks on and shreds it from the sky. Its installation transforms survivability, acting as an automated bodyguard. For the crew, it's a massive morale boost, a last line of defense that reacts faster than any human. The CIWS makes the ship a much tougher target, raising the cost of any attack. Integrating CIWS into the ship's combat system ensures seamless, rapid response. Now, the ship's main radar can cue the CIWS before threats are even close. The addition completes the ship's layered defense, turning it into a hardened fortress at sea. The CIWS doesn't just protect, it deters. The towed array sonar system, TASS, is a game-changer. Unlike hull-mounted sonar, TASS trails a long cable of hydrophones deep behind the ship, away from engine noise. It can detect the faintest submarine signatures from miles away, giving the frigate time to react. With TASS, the Jose Rizal-class becomes a credible submarine hunter, able to patrol and protect vital sea lanes. This upgrade is vital for an archipelagic nation dependent on maritime trade. TASS also enables the frigates to contribute meaningfully to allied operations, sharing sonar data and enhancing regional security. The Navy now has a seat at the table in modern anti-submarine warfare. One gap remains: the 8-cell vertical launch system, VLS. A VLS would provide powerful area air defense, protecting not just the frigate but entire task groups. The decision to defer VLS was deliberate. Budget and logistics demanded a phased approach. CIWS and TAS addressed the most urgent needs first. This methodical strategy allows the Navy to master new systems before adding more complexity. The VLS is the next logical step, likely in the next modernization phase. The empty cells on deck signal future intent. It's not a question of if, but when. The frigate upgrades were the result of the revised AFP modernization program, a long-term national commitment. The program is structured in 3 phases, or horizons. The initial frigate acquisition was Horizon 1, CIWS and TAS upgrades came under Horizon 2. This multi-year funding model allows for strategic, coordinated acquisitions. Horizon 2 focused on adding real capability to existing platforms, frigates, fighter jets, armor, and artillery. The goal: a minimum credible defense posture to deter aggression. Sustained investment sends a message. The Philippines is serious about defense. The successful frigate upgrades prove the value of this structured, long-term approach. The nation is building a force that cannot be easily dismissed. Today, the BRP Jose Rizal and BRP Antonio Luna are no longer incomplete warriors. With CIWS and TAS, they've shed the paper tiger label. These frigates are now true guardians, ready for modern threats. Captains can patrol with confidence, knowing they have robust, multi-layered defenses. They can hunt submarines and protect vital sea lanes. The transformation elevates the entire fleet, making the Navy a credible deterrent. Potential adversaries now face higher risks in Philippine waters. The frigates back diplomacy with real strength. The journey from aspiration to reality is complete. These ships are now substantive capabilities. The next step is VLS, but today, the Navy stands ready. The sailors aboard are proud defenders of the Republic's future.